So, how does a nation really move forward? How does it grapple with a painful past to build a future that's more just, more prosperous? Today, we're going to dig into a pivotal moment where these questions aren't just ideas, they are the very foundation of a country's path ahead. This quote just nails it, right? This isn't about tweaking a few things here and there. No, it's a call for a deep, soul-searching look at where a nation has been and a very conscious decision about where it needs to go. So let's dive into what that actually means for Bangladesh. For Bangladesh, this isn't some abstract idea of a crossroads. It's being defined by a powerful nationwide demand for accountability and a new vision for what comes next. And this demand has been given a name and a really powerful symbol. And here it is. This is the emblem for DAFA-28, the Commission for Historical Atrocities. And wow, it's a potent symbol of that demand. It's way more than just a logo. It's like a public promise that the past will not be forgotten. And those dates you see at the bottom, 1971, 2009, 2013, and 2024, they're not random. Each one is a painful chapter in the nation's history that's now at the very heart of this call for justice. All right, so to really get what's driving DAFA-28, we have to look at the specific events it's trying to address. There are three huge, pivotal moments in recent history that form the core of this national reckoning. And this timeline, it lays it out so starkly. 2009, 2013, and then, the very recent events of 2024. Each of these years marks a moment of just profound national trauma, with so many questions left unanswered. It all starts back in 2009 with a bloody two-day mutiny at the headquarters of what was then the Bangladesh Rifles in Pilkhana. The siege ended with the deaths of 57 high-ranking army officers. Now, there were legal proceedings over the years, sure, but that feeling, that need for a fuller sense of justice, it never went away. And then, boom, in 2024, victims' families filed new complaints, and it just reignited that whole call for accountability. Fast forward 4 years to 2013, and we have the Motijheel incident. During a law enforcement operation against activists who were occupying Shapla Chattar, a significant number of people were killed. The source material we're looking at highlights that many people now refer to this event as a genocide and are demanding a formal path to justice. And that brings us right up to the most recent tragedy, the events of July and August 2024, which are now being called the July Genocide or the Mass Uprising. We saw these widespread protests where a large number of students and citizens were killed. And in the wake of all that, with a change in government, a formal trial process for these killings has already kicked off. So what's really, really important to get here is that these aren't just isolated, tragic memories. They've all come together, kind of merged into this one powerful, unified movement for justice. It's a national reckoning, and it's happening right now in a very real way. And this isn't just talk, right? The pursuit of accountability is happening in some really concrete ways. We're seeing new legal action for the 2009 massacre, a new trial getting underway for the events of 2024, and the start of creating an official list of martyrs. And they've drawn a really firm line in the sand about past injustices, too, making it clear that there's going to be no amnesty for collaborator groups from the 1971 Liberation War, like Al-Badr and the Razakars. It's like they're trying to heal the nation's oldest wounds at the same time. But this whole story isn't just about looking backward. At the exact same time as this demand for justice, there's this equally powerful call to build a new future. A sort of philosophical roadmap for what comes next has started to emerge. And that roadmap, it's laid out in this book right here, The Architects of Tomorrow by Guru Delawar Hussain. It's being put forward not just as a critique of what went wrong, but as a really detailed blueprint for where the nation can go from here. At the heart of it all is this concept of a revolution for the rejuvenation of Bangladesh. Now, this isn't about small reforms. The language points to something much bigger. We're talking about a fundamental transformation, a kind of national rebirth, aimed at creating a state that's built on profound trust and prosperity. And just look at the book's dedication. It's so powerful. It bridges the past and the future, honoring the sacrifices from the nation's founding in 1971 all the way to the mass uprising of 2024. And it specifically gives a nod to Generation Z, directly linking that historical pain to the promise of a whole new generation. So what does this rejuvenation actually look like in practice? What's the plan? Well, the book lays out a pretty clear blueprint with some seriously ambitious, concrete goals for this new social movement. And the vision it's huge. It's not just about improving things at home, but about elevating Bangladesh on the world stage, transforming it into a beacon of stability and progress, kind of in the same vein as nations like Japan or Singapore. The whole idea is to build a state that's founded on deep trust and prosperity for everyone, by finally tackling those systemic problems like poverty and corruption. But here's the kicker. The book argues that this amazing vision, it's not something you can achieve with policy changes alone. At the end of the day, it all comes down to a message of incredible unity. It's calling for a collective awakening, a moment where 180 million people get behind one spirit, one path, and one single unwavering purpose. And that really leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? As Bangladesh confronts its past and starts to architect its future, the biggest challenge might not be in the blueprint itself, but in the building of it all. Can an entire nation, 180 million people, truly unite to create the tomorrow it envisions? Well, that remains the profound and defining question.